Hi, so I want to talk just a little bit, about the impact of globalization. So when we look at retailers, we know that many U.S. corporations have decided to set up shop abroad for a number of reasons. What are some of the reasons that companies like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts may choose to go abroad? So, first of all, what we want to keep in mind is that many U.S. corporations are facing saturation here in the U.S. market. So, whether we're talking about Starbucks or maybe Dunkin' Donuts, we know that these organizations or these retailers are looking for new ways, new consumer markets, new opportunities to expand their brands. So, while nine of the top 20 retailers are U.S. corporations, only 6 of the top 20 have actually decided to set up shop outside of the U.S. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. So one may ask, what are the factors that prohibit companies from setting up shop abroad? Because of those numbers, it seems to, how can I say, allude to the fact that it may be a bit more challenging than we might consider to set up shop abroad, right? Set up shop abroad, right? So what are some of the factors that might prohibit or that might be debilitating for retailers, right? So we know that retailers overall, when deciding to set up shop abroad, have to deal with the customs, the taste preferences, the particular social factors that are pervasive within a certain community, right? So we know that IKEA, at one point in time, when they first tried to enter Japan and China, faced difficulties because they set up showrooms according to American standards. And if you think about IKEA in the US, how are their showrooms set up? How are their retail stores set up? They have massive displays, massive cabinetry, bookcases that are expansive, etc. They focused on large rooms, large setups. We know in Japan and China that space is at a premium, right? And so that many people live in very small spaces, very small homes, condos, and apartments. And so for that reason, IKEA failed miserably when they first tried to enter the Asian market, and they had to pull back, conduct marketing research, and then revamp their strategy in order to be effective in Asia. So I want you to think about, what are the factors that will cause an American corporation to be more deliberate, to be more thoughtful, to be more purposeful when deciding to enter a foreign market. And obviously, again, we want to think about the 4 Ps. How should they modify the product? Some of you guys may have gone on D-term trips, or you may have traveled with your family abroad. Perhaps you've done mission trips, etc. What are some American brands that you've encountered when visiting other countries, and how have those products been modified in order to meet the particular taste of the consumers in those markets? We know that McDonald's, KFC, etc., most of the fast food companies have modified their offerings when operating in foreign countries, right? So we're talking about product modifications. How do companies modify price? We can think about in the Dunkin' Donuts video and also in the Starbucks videos that we've watched in the past. Both companies have had to face challenges with respect to pricing, particularly when entering India. We know that in India, tea is the primary beverage, and tea is very, very inexpensive. And so both Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks have had to adjust their pricing strategy to gain market share in those areas. So we want to think about promotion. Watch the Dunkin' Donuts video and pay close attention to how Dunkin' Donuts uses various forms of advertising when entering India. And then lastly, we want to talk about placement. So within these foreign countries, where should these locations be situated? Should they be in, obviously, most companies are going to target major urban metropolitan areas, but with respect to place, how accessible are the locations? Are there any problems with infrastructure, accessibility, etc.? We know in some countries, accessibility may be an issue. So again, U.S. companies, when moving or thinking about expanding their operations abroad, have many factors to take into consideration. While moving abroad offers U.S. companies an opportunity to tap into new consumer markets and offers U.S. corporations an opportunity to expand their product offerings, etc., they also want to consider how they will have to modify product, price, place, and promotion to be successful in those particular markets. So again, U.S. companies are facing saturation here in the U.S., and moving abroad can provide many opportunities, but there also are some challenges that need to be considered.